Hey guys, Sean again, just feeding some animals. I tried the mouse here with the champagne. Champagne just wasn't having it. Bumblebee's usually a garbage disposal, so we'll see how he does. This guy will usually eat anything and everything. We'll see. There it is. I go in here. I'll just hold back the mouth. That way the snake can't fight back, or the mouse can't fight back. Just let the mouse, not squeezing. Just let the snake put the mouse out. That way the mouse won't do any harm. Biggest thing is with feeding lives, you always have the option of the mouse fighting back. Some of you guys are going to think this is cruel. Again, I'm not squeezing the mouse by any means. I'm just keeping the head away from the snake. That way the snake doesn't get hurt or injured in the fight. This is kind of just how it works sometimes. You know, the snake here eats live. He eats best when he's on live. He doesn't really eat frozen a whole lot. But he eats the live mice. So, well, that's what I got to feed him. You know, all animals have to eat. Some of you guys might think it's cruel. This is just kind of how it works, unfortunately. If you guys don't want to watch it, don't. The title of this movie specifically says ball python eating. So, if you don't want to see the ball python eating, don't watch the video. It's as simple as that. Any of the messages about how this is cruel, all that stuff, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. This is just kind of how it plays out. This is how it is. But this allows me to kind of show you how the bumblebee's doing, putting on some good size. I got him at about 300 grams roughly, up over 500 now. So putting on some serious size, and I've only had him since September, so 3 or 4 months I've had him. Putting on some good size overall, slamming down food like crazy. This guy here will actually probably eat a couple of these mice and then move to a couple of and has actually been eating small rats and stuff as well. I want to see if I can get a good portion of this on video so you guys can see kind of the whole thing. If I can get him eating the whole entire mouse and time lapse it, I'll do that for you guys as well. This guy here is at the point where he's almost ready to start breeding. I paired him up a couple of times just to kind of put them together. And he seems very interested. He's never bred before, so he's new at it still. But pumping him up, getting him up to 600 to 800 grams, he'll be going crazy breeding wise and stuff at that point too. He already wants to, and he's already really good eating, as you can see in this video. So get him pumped up, get him going, possibly breed him with a big female pastel, and get some killer looking animals. If you breed this guy here, which is a pastel spider, to another pastel female, you'll get something called the killer bee, which is a super pastel spider. The spider patterning is what gives it that kind of spider web look to the patterning. So a killer bee, a super pastel spider, is actually going to look very similar to this, but instead of a lot of the yellows, they'll actually be a very, very light yellow or almost a white coloring. So really kind of cool looking animal overall. And it's just an overall really good animal to be able to breed into some of the other stuff I have. You know, pair that up with some of the champagne stuff I got and some other animals. Really, really cool kind of stuff. So I'm going to see if I can get the full video of him eating the full mouse, and then we'll kind of go from there. I'll post up some other videos if I get any of the other stuff to eat as well. I get a small to medium-sized rat that I'll offer to the piebald or to Kyrie. One of the two. I've offered it to both of my females. My big females didn't want to take it. Pastel female hasn't really eaten a whole lot yet for me, but the big normal female has been slamming down rats like crazy. She had one, I think, like a week ago, and she had a pretty good sized rat at that point. So she just might not be hungry right now. But this guy here obviously is. So I'm going to be posting this in two places. I'm posting it on the Facebook page, which is just facebook.com/S and L reptile. So it's SANDLREPTILES. And it will also be on my YouTube channel, which should just be under Sean McGinnon. Feel free to search it, and I'll post a link on both of those as well, so you guys can check it out, so you guys can see it. If you guys are looking at it on one page, feel free to go to the other page, like, comment, subscribe, and vice versa. Feel free to like, share, and post on Facebook. I appreciate you guys watching, and don't forget to let me know what you guys think. So since we're still sitting here waiting, watching it go through, I don't want it to be completely awkward and just quiet the whole entire time. So I'll talk about some other stuff that I kind of plan on doing and possibly plan on have happening. So down the road, or in the near future, I should say, more or less, I'm looking to pick up at least one, maybe two more animals, depending on what I can get them for price. So I'm looking at possibly getting a male banana ball python. Which is a really cool kind of animal. It's a newer animal that's out, and just in the past few years, more or less, it became really popular. The banana looks very similar to most people, like an albino, but it's a dominant gene. So it being a dominant gene, that just means if you breed it to a normal-looking animal, 50% of those babies, based off of genetics and statistics, are going to be that banana morph, or that banana color. Those snakes are kind of, I see a lot of really cool big projects kind of coming from that gene. A few years ago, bananas were selling for 10 and 15,000, if not more. They were very expensive animals. Now they're down to a small fraction of that. They're a lot cheaper now. So now's the time, in my opinion, to kind of go about that. You know, get a male, breed him with some other females that I have that are, you know, get some pastel bananas and possibly some bumblebee bananas and stuff down the road, depending on what I get for females, and just get all kinds of different things. But I think the banana is going to be one of the biggest genes that you're going to be able to work with. It's going to be very similar to how the pastel gene has been for the ball python industry as it is. You know, just a few years back, pastel ball pythons, females, babies, were still selling at $150 to $200. They're now at the point where you can get a pastel female for $50 at a show. You can get them a lot cheaper. So the value on them has just dropped. That's how it's going to work with supply and demand, though. The more of an animal that there is, the more readily available they are, the cheaper they're going to be, which works all the way around, in my opinion. You know, you can end up getting a lot of really cool colors out of it. They make it a little bit more user-friendly, a little bit cheaper for people to get who aren't looking to necessarily massively breed, but are looking to have a kind of a cool animal. So I think potentially, you know, 5 years, 10 years down the road, the banana is going to be the same thing. It's going to be paired with everything. It's going to be paired with spider. It's going to be paired with pinstripe. It's going to be paired with pewters and cinnamons and piebalds and albinos and xanthics and clowns and all these other kind of genes that are out there that the pastel is paired with every day, all the time. So the banana is definitely something I want to get my hands on and kind of jump ahead of some other people with breeding those up. Another thing that I want to get to would be a big het female piebald. What that is piebald gene is a recessive gene, which just simply means that in order to breed out and get piebald animals, both the mother and the father have to carry that gene. So if you breed a piebald to a normal animal that does not carry the piebald gene, you're going to get all normal looking babies, but they're all going to carry that gene. So in order to breed out and get your own piebalds, you are going to have to take one of those babies that carries that gene, breed it back to the father or the mother, and then you will have a 75% chance of hitting albino. That's just kind of how the recessive aspect works. So I want to pick up a big female het piebald so I can pair up with my male piebald so I can be making piebalds down the road. Once this guy finishes here, I'll show you what the piebald gene looks like, just so you can kind of see as to what I'm talking about, so you can kind of understand a little bit more as to the terminology and the things that I'm saying. So you can see there was maybe 7 or 8 minutes total of him actually eating it, getting it down, killing everything. Got it down pretty quick considering there's some snakes and animals that will take half hour, 45 minutes to an hour to eat the meal that you've given them. So he's gotten it down actually pretty quick, and he just has a little bit of the tail sitting out and hanging out there. So I might even offer him another mouse just because he got that down real quick. You can see the bulge there, and it will make its way down in the middle of the body where it'll almost completely disappear. This here, that's the piebald. So that's the gene that I'm referring to when I say I want to get a het piebald, which just means it's a normal looking snake. So a normal is this here. That's what a normal ball python looks like. But it will carry this gene. So if I breed that animal that carries that gene to this male here, I'm going to get a lot of babies that look like this, which is kind of cool. These here aren't cheap snakes. You can see there's a lot of colors and stuff to them, a lot of that high white on this. Not cheap snakes to get. And it's a very desirable snake because it's very different from what most people are used to seeing in the ball python world. So before this video gets too long, I'm going to stop there. Again, let me know what you guys think. Feel free to share the page, comment, like, and also check me out on the YouTube channel or the Facebook page. Both those links will be on the bottom. Thanks guys for watching. Bye.